I have 3 bundles here, and I have a frontal here that I'm going to customize, and I'm going to dye jet black as well. This is the Kendra's Boutique hair and the deep wave, and I have inches 22, 24, and 26. So I also have some T-pins so I can secure the frontal onto the mannequin head. And I have the prism lights, which you can get at Sally's. I have the 20 and 30 developer, both by Clairol. And I have a tint brush. So these are the things you'll be needing today. I also have some foil strips for the frontal. I just find that using these, it makes it much easier to manage, and it actually processes faster. So when you want to dye your frontal, you're going to dye it first, and then you're going to go back and bleach the knots. So I have already wet all of my hair down, all 3 of the bundles and the frontal, so I'm just going to unwrap them and get them ready for the dye application. So her hair comes all individually wrapped and labeled. I have a 22, 24, 26. I'm just cutting off the rubber bands and getting it all prepared to dye. So I'm using the Sally's Argan Oil hair color. 1 pack of this actually comes with 2 parts. I'm going to use all 4 of these boxes. So really it's 2, 4, 6, 8 parts. And I'm going to go ahead and get the dye together and all mixed up with the developer. So here I'm going to go ahead and put on my gloves. I don't want to mess up my pretty fresh paint job on my nails, and dye will definitely do that. So I put on my gloves and I'm going to continue to stir. I'm going to take my T-pins and go ahead and pin down my frontal. I'm just using a styrofoam mannequin that I got from Amazon, and I am not putting it on the tripod just yet. I just want to make sure that it's on securely. So I used my T-pins to secure it. Now I'm going to go ahead and section the hair off so I can prepare it for the color. I'm using these foil strips that I got from Sally's, and I just find it easier to use these when you're applying the color. I'm going to start with a small section on the side of the frontal, and I'm just going to work it all the way down. I'm going to make sure that I get both sides, and I'm going to make sure that I comb it through. I'm trying to get as close to the lace as possible without actually getting the dye on the lace. That is the hardest part, guys, protecting the lace. I don't care how careful I am, how much time I spend on this. Like, I still sometimes get dye on the lace, but if you really, 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 really take your time, or maybe there's some other technique out there that you guys know of so that it's easier to not get the dye on the lace, you guys just let me know so I can work faster and more efficiently. So as you can see, I'm just parting it in little small sections, and I'm applying the dye to the top and the bottom. And you definitely have to comb this through. Again, you're trying to get as close as you can to the lace without actually getting any dye on the lace. Yes, I know it's a challenge, but you must be up close with this. You have to be careful. And the best thing is to just make sure that you comb the dye through all the way from the top to the bottom. Okay, so at this point, I have all my foil on here. I have the dye completely covering every strand on this frontal. So now I'm going to go ahead and get ready to dye my bundles. That's the easiest part, guys. Just slap it on and comb it through. That is really the answer to the dyeing the bundles. So yeah, you can see I did get a little black on the frontal, but it's okay because we're going to go back and bleach that. So I'm going to go ahead and prep with my 30 volume developer and my prism lights. I'm going to bleach my frontal. As you can see, guys, this is super easy. You're just going to mix it up until it gets to like a foamy consistency. At first it'll look pretty thin, but the more you mix it and mix it and mix it, it gets thicker and thicker and thicker. So then when you're applying it, it really just looks like a coat of foam on top of the frontal. So I like using the prism lights because it doesn't really have that like brassy texture to it. Please make sure, or that brassy color to it, because you know sometimes when you dye your frontals, they'll have like a rusty color like at the root, so you don't really want that. Prism lights, you don't have to add any purple to it or anything. It's just perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and get my foil ready, because afterwards I'll be putting this face down on my foil and it will be processing. So I'm going to go ahead and slap this on. Really light, gentle strokes. You don't want it to go all the way through the lace. You just want it to sit on top of the lace. If it does go all the way through, there's a chance that it might get on the hair, and you don't want hair with blonde roots that's jet black. So make sure you're covering up all your bases, all of the knots that you see. And just take your time with this, guys. Once your frontal is completely covered, you're going to go ahead and set the timer for 15 minutes. You probably won't leave it on that long, but I'm going to continuously watch it as it's processing. So make sure you slap it bleach down onto the foil so it can process, and you know, definitely take a look at it every now and then so you can kind of see how fast it's processing. So I actually missed a few spots, so I'm going to go back and kind of reapply it to make sure there's an even coat of bleach. And you can do this as many times as you want. If you have the bleach on and you didn't let it sit long enough, you can always go back and re-bleach it. It's no big deal. So here I'm just parting the hair to see if any of the knots are still black. When you know it's done, and it's been like 7 minutes now, but you'll know that it's done because the knots will start turning like a gold color, and at that point you need to take it off because you do not want to over bleach your knots. So as you can see, they're kind of like a gold color here, and I'm going to go ahead and take it off and rinse it. Only thing I need to do now is just customize it. You can see where the bleach starts. If I flip it over, yeah, I got a little bit of black right here, but obviously it's bleached and it looks really good. So I am excited, guys. Here is the Deep Wave Kendra's Boutique hair in jet black dyed with the argan oil. Cookie number one. Then the other one, yeah. Dad, you trying to twerk?